Good morning, rockers, and welcome to Rock Painting Workshops. Today we're going to start with an Easter rock, and I've got my supplies here, water and paintbrushes, black and white pens, and different colours that I'm going to start colouring my rock in with. And first things first is ignore all the blue paint that's over it. Those that follow me a lot know that I colour on both sides of my rock before I hide them. So there's a picture on both sides, and I'm just going around. You can see there's a little beaver that I coloured in, and I paint on one side and I seal it. Once it's all dry, I'll then do another image on the other side, and then I'll hide that in my community. So today I'm doing this Easter rock, which I'm going to leave at church maybe this Sunday or the Sunday after, I'm not too sure, but I'll leave it out for someone to find before Easter. And we're going to draw the cross on the rock with some Easter eggs down the bottom because they're for new beginnings. And I'm going to write a Bible verse on it, and that will be from 1peter chapter 1 verse 3. And that one, it's written by Paul, the apostle of Jesus, and he writes a letter to Christians that are facing persecution, and it's to comfort them with the truth of who they are in Christ. So that will be the message that I will have written on this rock. We'll see how we go for space. But the first thing I am doing is just laying down the base colour. Just shake this pen up a little bit more. Yeah, so I'm putting down a nice thin layer of paint onto the rock. And I never use base coats or anything like that. I like the first layer of my paint to act as the base coat. And so here I'm using the new paint colours from Posca. I think this one's called Ochre. I can't remember. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, I can't quite see it because of the way I'm holding the pen is against the colour. But anyway, it's one of the new ones, not available in the US yet. I'm not sure when it's going to be released there, but Australia and UK have the new colours. So here I'm just going to continue on and put down that first layer of colour, and that's the beauty of acrylic paints and acrylic paint pens. The good quality ones have really great pigment. So that means 2 layers of paint and it's great. It's done. It's very opaque. You don't need any more than that. I can paint straight over the top, and by the time I've done my second layer, you won't even see those bits of blue that were on my rock from the other side. Okay, so we'll just colour this one in. Okay, put that there. Yeah, I either send my rocks when I do rocks for a Christian group. I either send them with my daughter on a Friday night youth group, and she leaves them, sort of hides them around on the inside of the church. If not, I'll take one along on Sunday and I just pop it along one of the pathways walking into the church. Okay, so here we go. This is 2 coats. I didn't bore you with the painting the second layer. I've just come back and done 2 parts to the video, and here I'm just doing the shading. So off screen I've got a little cup of water, and I'm dipping my brush into that water. I wipe away any excess drops, and then I just touch onto the top of my paint pen and get a little bit of paint so that I can smush that around. And I'm just creating the shadow that the cross is casting around it. Okay, yeah, so that's good. I'll leave that. So that's what we call the glow. Oh, there you go. Just splat paint everywhere, never mind. Everyone loves a little bit of blue. And I'll just continue on with the colours like that. Now, if you don't have a whole range of different coloured pens, don't worry. I show you in our beginners course, we've got over 50 videos, and I show you on there where you can sort of do this with a black, white and grey. You can change the shades and tones of your colours. So you can pop along to our website, rockpaintingworkshops.com, and you will see that course. We are we are charging $10 for the course now. It was free, but we are fundraising for an organisation across that help at-risk women and children in Nepal. And I lived in Nepal for 10 years, so it's an organisation that I actually founded, so I know all about it, and I personally know all the women involved, and we're just helping them through some COVID times, and they're suffering at the moment, so we've decided to charge $10 for the course, and that 100% of the proceeds goes towards the women in Nepal. Okay, just helps pay the kids' school fees. The women were out of work and the kids were off school for like 9 months, and there's just things that aren't happening very well for them. So we're just going to give them a hand, make sure the kids' school fees are paid, and everyone has food to put on the table, just until they can pick their work back up. Okay, so I just keep shading in here, but I teach shading, how to get the colours and how to lay the shading down, and some easy ways of where to place it. I teach all that in the course as well. Okay, so now I'm just going to go around the outside with my black pen, and this is the fine liner size. Just give a scribble on Bert because I didn't test the pen before I started, even though I'm telling everybody to do that before they start, is to test the rock and make sure it's working, rather than put it on your rock and it might sort of spurt out, or I was lucky then it just didn't work, is I give a little scribble on Bert, my pet rock, and just check that my pen is clean and it's working and everything's all good and happening there. So you can see how many scribbles Bert has on him. Even in my video tutorials, I also, talk to you about Bert and why I choose Bert and not paper towels and different things like that. So I go into everything in the course, not just how to paint rocks. We'll talk about supplies and troubleshooting and all different things like that. And just pop some decorations on the eggs. And then when you want like a little bit extra shading, you can just add in some darker black areas. I'm just going around it just a little bit thicker, and that just helps, and that's in the shadow areas. So obviously where an egg would sit against the cross, it would throw a little bit more shadow in there, and where the egg is on the grass, that will throw a bit more shadow. So you can see I'm just thickening that up, adding a few dots. Never hurts to have a few dots on your rock, right? Because there's absolutely no reason why I did that, except it's just my artistic habit to add dots and dashes. Okay, now just grabbing the white pen and adding some highlights in there, and that's just wherever you think that the sun would hit onto the rock, just adding a little bit of reflection from the sun. Now I'm just going to grab my black pen. As I've been drawing, colouring in and doing the shading, I realised I'm not going to be able to fit the whole Bible verse on there. So I'm just going to write where to find it in the Bible, and that's 1peter chapter 1 verse 3. And that will just let my friends at church know that they can go home and read that. And that's their message from the universe today. So I'd love to see your rocks. You can also join us in our Facebook group, and that's Reef Rocks Free Workshops, and I hope to see you there soon.